There is just 4 sleeps until Christmas. Can you believe it? While many households may have already popped up the tree, others are still searching for the perfect pine. For the people growing them, it is certainly a big business. Andrea Crothers spoke to the owner of Santa's shaped Christmas trees near Canberra, Ziggy Kominek.
The crop's been looking really good because of the rains, and we've actually sold out of this year's crop, but next year's crop has grown so well that we're selling from that. And that's the crop behind me that you can see. So yes, we've got plenty of trees left.
Just how many have you sold this year?
Probably about 3,000 or 4,000.
So you've been growing these trees since the year 2000. How did you first get into the tree trade?
Sort of by accident. I was fortunate enough to be able to retire early, and at the same time I retired, my wife's father retired at 82 and handed over a third of his farm to her, and we were living on 200 acres. Now, I didn't really need to know what I was doing on 200 acres, but when I took over another 1,300 acres, I did an advanced diploma in farm management at the Goulburn TAFE College, and one of the subjects was sunrise industries. So I did my assignment on sunrise industry, and I looked through lavender and grape growing and all those things, and Christmas trees. So I thought I'd do my assignment on Christmas trees. Anyway, at the end of it all, I thought, I've done a lot of work on this. This is a pretty good business. I'll have a go. So I planted the first lot, about 3,000 trees, and of course you invest a lot of money and then you can't sell anything for about 3.5 years. So next year I had to spend more money, plant another 3,000 trees, etc., etc. Year 4, when the first lot were ready to sell, I had a great business plan, but I forgot one thing, a good marketing plan, and I sold 4 trees that year. And I thought, this is not going to be a goer, so I didn't plant anymore. And I advertised like crazy, and then we sold about 700 trees that year. And then word got out of the quality of the trees, and next thing I knew, I was selling out, but I wasn't planting. So catch-22 on the land. It's either a flood or a drought. So eventually we got going, and we're growing the right amount of trees for the demand that we have. And that's about 20
There's
years
a lot of work in it, 3.5 years. Yeah, 20 years later and 3.5 years to grow each tree. You've got 36,000 trees under your care. What goes into preparing the perfect tree?
Well, the first thing is the planting. So what we do is we have the land ripped by a big bulldozer, and in the dry period in February, so it shatters the soil underneath. Then we let the water run into that rip line, and we rip and mound it. And then we buy seedlings from Melbourne, and we plant them in June. And then about a year later, the first thing has to be done to them. And what we do is we call them the handles. We trim up all the branches from ground level up about 20 centimetres. So when the tree's ready to cut, you can actually cut it. And we also have a stem that will fit into a stand. So that's the first job.
Hey Ziggy, we're seeing some nice pictures here of the trees with some snow on them and the like. It's looking pretty good there where you are behind you. You must be doing a fairly good job of it. I am curious, just before I do let you go, for the man who can have any tree he wants, what do we see in your household, and just how do you decorate it?
Okay, in our household, it depends if we're having Christmas at our house or not, because we have three boys, and we just rotate Christmas between the 4 families. So whoever's having Christmas Day, that celebration at their house, the tree goes there. But and that year we don't normally have one in our house. But yes, when we do, we get the largest tree we have, we set it up and decorate it, and I've got some very old decorations from my parents, you know, the glass baubles, and we decorate that.